Welcome to the Weekly Reference. I'm Mark. I love movies. Let's talk about them. Each week, I'm going to choose three topics that I'm interested in, and I'll try not to waste your time. You can listen and watch on YouTube, or you can listen to wherever you get your podcast from, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Just look up the movie reference. On this week's episode, I want to talk about the new release dates for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, give you a review for Wick is Pain, and tell you guys the 5 movies I can't wait to see in theaters this summer. So let's get into it. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Deadline, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars have shifted their release dates. Avengers Doomsday was originally slated for May 1st, 2026, is now slated for December 18th, 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars was originally supposed to come out May 7th, 2027, and now it's being pushed back to December 17th, 2027, basically a year apart, which is what happened with Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Avengers Infinity War came out April 27th, 2018, and Avengers Endgame came out April 26th, 2019. So the only difference is Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars aren't shooting back to back, even though they're coming out so close together. Infinity War and Endgame basically shot back to back. I think there was a pause in production at one point, but they pretty much shot back to back. And I can't see this as anything but good news being pushed back because it gives them more time. Also, I mean, it gives them more of a motivation. Listen, the summer season and the holiday season are two of the biggest times to put out a film, especially a big film. And the Avengers, it's no joke. It's their flagship within their cinematic universe. It's the one that has all the marbles. It gets to have all of our favorite characters interact with one another, fighting for a common goal, and that's always exciting to see. And in my opinion, they released 4 great Avengers films. I love the first one. Age of Ultron is one of those that I love how humorous it is. It also has been growing on people, from what I understand. Infinity War, Endgame are top notch, so they have a lot to live up to be honest with you. So them pushing it back is nothing but good news. It gives them time to kind of reevaluate, recontextualize, restructure, whatever they need to do, because it's been kind of bumpy since Endgame. Not to get into all of it, but phases 4 and 5 have felt a bit hollow. They felt disconnected. They felt like, like maybe 2/3 of the committee said, yeah, this is good enough. Let's put it out, rather than having everyone say, yes, this is what we're going for. Like Thunderbolts. I feel like Thunderbolts really encapsulated everyone's like enthusiasm and was like, yes, this is what we're looking for, whether it's the audience to the executives or whatever. That one worked. Deadpool and Wolverine, Spider-Man No Way Home, those are kind of outliers, man. Those are like nostalgia bait films to their fullest. They're amazing, but they feel like these otherworldly productions. And it feels like the mainstay characters, Doctor Strange, Thor, and Ant-Man, everyone that's been introduced from phases 1, 2, and 3, their outings were kind of like these like grand ideas that just weren't executed very well, or just felt like it rained hollow. You know what I mean? And then the characters that are supposed to be the faces of the MCU don't feel like they're the presence of like a Tony Stark or Steve Rogers. And I say that with all due respect. They just don't feel like the next people to take over. And then the characters that we do like Shang-Chi, where has he been? Granted, we've been getting Wong and we get Yelena and Red Guardian. We're getting some of them to come up more often, Miss Marvel, all these likable characters that I think is important for this franchise, especially because phases 1, 2, and 3 got it right. They did these individual character stories. They gave us these likable characters in their standalone movies that told these awesome stories to make you fall in love with these characters and eventually lead up to the buildup of the Avengers, right? The Avengers is what capped off the phases. And also gave you a sprinkle of the larger story that's being told, right? The thing that they're leading up to. Right now, the stories are all over the place. Yes, they're multiversal. Yes, we're getting people back, or getting people to appear as certain characters. And it's like, yeah, that's cool to see, but what's the reason? Like, we don't know what the overarching reason is for these movies to have any type of meaning in the larger story. With that being said, the standalone features that they've been producing have not been up to snuff anyway. So like they're not living up to their individual standards, and they're not living up to the fact of the larger story that they're trying to lead to, which is supposed to lead to Doomsday. At least that's what they said. It's all leading to Doomsday, but it doesn't feel like how it felt when it was all leading to Thanos. You know what I mean? And yeah, so right now it feels like there's no rhyme or reason for how all these movies are somehow connected, or if they're not even connected. For all we know, we might find out we're all in different, these are all different universes. Like, I don't know. Anyways, it's been a little bit of a mess. So the Avengers, they need to take it serious. They need to take a bit more time, because that's their bread and butter right now, is the Avengers films. So, and coming out in December, they obviously want to make all the money in the world. But basically, Marvel should do whatever's necessary to make the best movie that they can, utilizing all the time that they have to make it. Now, no, of course, longer productions does not guarantee success. Doesn't mean the movie's going to turn out better. Nothing like that. But at the least, they could sit and they can focus and they can tinker and they can do all kinds of things with that amount of time, and give time for the visual effects and all that stuff. Because I mean, look at Infinity War and Endgame; they look extraordinary. But then you look at something that came out afterwards, like, I don't know, Ant-Man and Quantumania, and you know, Captain America, Brave New World. Like the effects are like kind of a little iffy. Come on. So yes, I want them to put their best foot forward. And if they're going to swing for the fences, I want them to at least try, try and fail to swing for the fences, rather than look at something and be like, it's good enough. They'll eat it up. Just give it to them. It's another, it's another meal. Here you go, guys. We'll see you guys next year. I don't want that to happen. I don't want them to think that it's just good enough. I feel like this time around, you got something to prove. You have this flagship franchise that needs a lot of love, and it needs to be one of those things that just wows us as an audience. So this is something that's awesome, that yes, you shifted to December to be in a money-making position, but you'll also have something to prove this time around. So I can't wait to see Avengers Doomsday in December 18th, 2026, and of course Secret Wars. But yes, leading to Doomsday, let's see why we're leading to Doomsday. Wick is Pain. This is a new documentary that came out to talk about the 4 John Wick films. It has all the filmmakers involvement, the producers, the actor, all these people in this documentary, and it's completely fascinating. It's amazing. If you're a fan of John Wick or a fan of filmmaking in general, this is like a raw, uncut look at the making of John Wick. It's this franchise. It became a franchise, but there's so much hardships. It's a labor of love. It's not polished like the behind the scenes special features. You know what I mean? It's actually like this just real and raw, uncut thing that is so honest about personal relationships and about the financial side of things, and about movie making and things that they receive pushback on and all that stuff. This documentary just put a big smile on my face, despite the fact that some of it was really sad. You know what I mean? Like it was so well done, and the fact that John Wick 1 through 4, it's meant to be the story, the arc, right? The arc of the character John Wick, and so it feels like the documentary really captures 1 through 4 very nicely. Like, there doesn't feel like there's any loose ends. Sometimes the documentary ends and you're like, okay, but there's still another one coming. We know there's a John Wick Chapter 5 coming. There's a Kane spinoff. The Ballerina is about to come out next week. But this feels satisfying. It feels really awesome to hear these creatives that really put their blood, sweat, and tears into making John Wick happen. It's interesting that despite how the franchise continued to grow and they started getting bigger budgets and bigger backing from the studio and fans, and of course actors wanting to come and join in, all this good stuff that was happening, it still was a tough franchise to bring together. Like from 1, 2, 3, and 4, like there's always some type of difficulty, some type of pushback between the studio and the director, Chad Stahelski, and yeah, so it was very interesting. It wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, we did the first one, that was the hardest one to make, and then after that, it was all good from there. No, it's always been hard. It's always been difficult. It's always been challenging. And I really respected seeing that perspective. And so I remember I remember seeing John Wick the first time I ever saw it. And I remember being blown away. I was like, I have to show this to everyone. I couldn't wait to get it physically and to show it to everyone that I saw this awesome film. And that led to all these amazing moments and experiences in the theater to see the rest of the series, including John Wick Chapter 4, where we're just getting out of the pandemic. It looks like we're able to go back to the movies and to see the nunchuck sequence. And I just remember my eyes just started watering. Like, I just was so in love with it. I was like, this is cinema. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. That whole movie, like, it all led to this beautiful Chapter 4. And yes, there's more now. Yeah, there's more coming. But yeah, it's just so admirable. I found it inspiring. It makes me want to make movies. It's like, between this and hearing Christopher McQuarrie talk about Mission Impossible, it's like, I want that. I want my thing that I poured everything into, and I made this happen. And look at this thing. It actually worked. And that's, of course, not in every case will it work. A lot of people put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into something that they're really proud of, or they really believe in, and then it doesn't always mean success. But in this case, that's just one of the things. The sad part about this documentary is hearing about the relationship between Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, though. Like, they were best friends. They were best friends, and John Wick fractured that friendship. Where they are now, I know they're co-owners of 1187, their little stunt team. I didn't mean to say that disrespectfully, but their stunt team organization, like, that's incredible. But like, I wanted to know, are you guys friends, or you guys still have that like fracture because of what happened between you guys with John Wick, them co-directing to, but at the end of the day, they're both making they're both creating these amazing filmographies on their own. Obviously, Chad has continued with John Wick. He's done, each movie's gotten better each time. David Leitch has went on to do, I mean, Hobbs and Shaw, Deadpool 2, The Fall Guy, Bullet Train, all that stuff. Like, they're in Atomic Blonde. They're forging their paths. They really are, and they're doing a great job. To me, it was like, man, I hope John Wick didn't like fracture your relationship that bad to the point where it's just broken. It's just like, you guys have this journey that led to John Wick, and then after that, hopefully it's more, I don't know. I hope I hope they're still friends. I don't know. That was the one thing that I was like, I feel so bad. I was like, listen, but I love this franchise. So, but yeah, Wick is Pain is well worth the watch. If you're a John Wick fan or a film fan, it's entertaining, informative, and inspiring to see a group of people come together to make something happen. It's something that they truly care about. It provides a glimpse into how difficult it is to make a movie, let alone a good film. It explores relationships that were tight at one point and fractured through the process, personal relationships, friendships, and things like that. It's about sacrifice, hardships, and uphill battles that can lead to success, and in this case, a very successful franchise. Wick is Pain is 5 stars. Thank you, Chad, David, Keanu, and the rest of the cast and the crew for following through on one of the best action franchises out there today. Thank you, guys. It's the summer season, and man, there's a lot of movies that I want to see in theaters, but there's 5 essential ones that I feel like I'm going to be there opening weekend. I got to see these ones opening weekend. Everything else, I'm sorry, I don't have time. I work a full-time job. I got kids. I got things I got to do around the house. I got a wife to take care of. Listen, and I don't have all the money in the world to go to the movies every single day. So let's be real, man. Here are the 5 movies that I definitely am going to see opening weekend. Starting with June 6th with Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves. We're back in the world of John Wick. I love John Wick. I love the universe. I love the Continental. I love how imaginative it is. And I want to be there again. We're going to follow this new character, Eve, who's a part of the Rushmokov ballerinas or whatever. Sorry, I messed that up. But they were featured in Chapter 3, and I want to see that. I want to see a new character navigate this world. It seems that she wants to be an assassin. She wants to follow in the footsteps of the Baba Yaga. And the fact that you get Keanu Reeves back, man, I mean, that's awesome. Like, I want to see that. There's an action set piece that I can't wait to see that they shown in the trailers a little bit, like the one that happens in like this cabin. Like that's the one I'm most interested in. Like I want to see that. And so I'm excited. I don't know if it's going to live up to John Wick potential. I mean, if considering the fact that this movie was supposed to come out last summer, got pushed back and to this summer, and you never know, and then the whole embargo stuff. I don't want to get into the whole embargo mess about them. Well, if you haven't heard about it, they said please only post your most enthusiastic reactions to the film. If you have anything negative to say, basically just keep it until the movie's about to come out or whatever. So I feel like, okay, my expectations kind of got lowered a little bit, but I'm still excited to see it. I don't expect it to be on par with the John Wick films, but at least be fun, at least be a nice iteration, a great time at the movies, hopefully, and hopefully it leads to something special. Hopefully it's not one of those like, why did they do that spinoff? I don't want that to happen. So next, F1, the movie, comes out June 27th. Brad Pitt, race cars. Top Gun Maverick in cars. This is awesome. This is what I'm looking for. I want to be in a new environment that I've never been to and to experience what it's like to be in these fast vehicles. I want to see Brad Pitt bring another great character to life, like in Moneyball. I want to feel the drama. I want to feel the adrenaline. I want to be there with a big bucket of popcorn and enjoy myself on the biggest screen possible. So yeah, there's nothing like negative to say. I'm just super excited. And I heard Hans Zimmer is going to do the score, so that's another plus. Can't wait to see that film, man. Next up, Jurassic World Rebirth comes out July 2nd. Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, directed by Gareth Edwards. Like, there's a lot of great creatives involved in this project. And Jurassic is that franchise that it's just nostalgia to me. It's just one of those things like I'm always going to be excited for the next film. Whether you deliver, that's on you. Like Jurassic Park, I love so much, love so dearly. 2 and 3, not so much. Jurassic World, you got it again. I really enjoyed this movie. Then 2 and 3 came out and it was like, okay, Rebirth. This is your chance to repeat the cycle to be a good film, but then break the cycle when you decide to do Rebirth 2 and 3. You know what I mean? Like that's what my expectation is. But I love this world of dinosaurs. I love that feeling. That I love how the first one made me feel, how the Jurassic World made me feel, giving me the thrill of the hunt with these dinosaurs, these engaging characters that are likable, that are, feel lived and breathed in. I like that stuff. So I hope that's what this one does as well. Then Superman on July 11th. Oh my gosh. Please just let me see whatever is in James Gunn's head, please. Like, I want to see his world fully realized. Like, the trailers have done a nice job of teasing stuff, but like I want the negativity to stop. Like, I just want it to be positive. I want it to be good. I want it to be one of those movies that surprise everyone and be like, you know what? I'm sorry I ever doubted you. Please give me more, sir. That's what I want to happen. I really am rooting for this movie just to be good. Like, I just want a great Superman story. And it feels like James is applying what he knows best, how to take comic book characters and give them layers. That scene between Lois and Clark having that argument in the living room was so nice. Like, I like that layer of like, well, yeah, wouldn't you be defensive if you were trying to save a bunch of people? Like, yeah, like, bro, I was trying to save them. They were gonna die. Like, I don't know. I just love that engagement. It feels like we're gonna get some really awesome characters, really flushed out characters, more so than we ever had them before. And yeah, Man of Steel with Henry Cavill, all that was great. That was good. Like, Man of Steel's great. Henry Cavill was great as Superman. Too bad he didn't get a great continuation to play that character. But now it's David Cornsweet, and I want to see what he can do. I've only ever seen him in Twisters, so I have no point of reference really because he's barely in the movie. But yeah, man, like, I want to see this movie. I can't wait to hear the score. I can't wait to just be blown away. And I like I said, I want the negativity to just cease. I want it to be like when Robert Pattinson was cast as Batman. It started out negative. He proved everyone wrong with the Batman. And now we're just eagerly waiting for Batman Part 2 because he was so great as the character. So that's what I want to happen with this. Yes, yes, yes. And then next is Fantastic Four, First Steps. That one comes out July 25th. It's similar to Superman. They have a lot to prove. Fantastic Four has had, 4 4 attempts. I mean, the TV movie and then the 2 that came out with Alba and Evans, and then the one that came out with Teller and Michael B. Jordan. It hasn't been great. But now it's in the hands of Marvel Studios, and I have a really good feeling that they're going to treat this special, that they're going to put their heart and soul into this film. But we won't know obviously until the day it comes out. And I want them to bring this family to the forefront. It's the Marvel's first family. You can't mess this up. You gotta do right. You gotta do them justice, and you gotta tell an engaging, awesome story with this family and be a part of the MCU, because it looks like, well, it seems like whatever happens at the end of this film is gonna lead to Doomsday. Let's just say that. So, yeah, there's a lot more movies coming out this summer. I just probably won't have time to see them, or it's going to take somebody to convince me or someone to take me or whatever. But those are the 5 movies that I got to go see. So there's the weekly reference. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Whatever you do, drop a like, whatever, subscribe, drop a comment, say hi. Let me know what you think about the new dates for the Avengers films. Let me know what you think of Wick is Pain if you have a chance to check it out. And let me know the movies that you're most excited to see in theaters this summer. I'll see you guys next week.